What's up, you guys? I'm Haley.
And I'm Andrea.
And this is Inhuman, a true crime podcast. So today we wanted to cover a couple of current missing persons cases. If you guys have been following along with the Gabby Petito case, you'll know that she currently or recently went missing. That's the right word. And she was found, thankfully, pretty quickly, and she got a lot of media attention. But what has been coming to light after that is that there are a ton of people who are missing right now that are not getting that media attention. And I mean, there's always a ton of people missing. There are so many people that go missing every single day. But we wanted to share about a couple of the current ones because, you know, if you're in the area they're missing from, it's just good to keep your eyes out, pay attention to things you see, and share with people around you because you never know who's going to see something that might know something.
Okay, so I'm going to be talking about Daniel Robinson, who has been missing for almost 3 months. Daniel is a South Carolina native, which, I don't know, I felt like this, kind of like how you felt that pull towards Gabby's case. I felt a pull towards his case, and maybe that's why, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he actually graduated from the College of Charleston, which I was supposed to go there, but I did not.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was stupid and didn't go. Anyway.
It happens.
Yeah. He graduated 2 years ago with a major in archaeology, and later he moved to Arizona after landing a job with Matrix New World Engineering. He was with a co-worker at a well site near Buckeye, Arizona on June 23rd, 2021, and was heading to what the other co-worker thought was the main road. The area he was driving away from was Sun Valley Parkway and Cactus Road, which is also located in Buckeye, Arizona. And this was around 9:15 a.m. that day. His family back in South Carolina quickly became concerned because Daniel regularly checked in with his parents and siblings. So much like, yeah. And you know your kid. You know when something's wrong.
Oh, 1,000%.
They reportedly began constantly calling, pleading with him to call them back, according to his father, David Robinson. They didn't understand what was going on because Daniel, better known to his friends and family as Dan, did not typically ignore his phone calls.
I just want to say, whenever people say that their friend or family member or whoever does not typically act like this, especially with phone calls and texting and stuff, you can tell when a friend is off. If it's somebody or a family member, if it's somebody that you talk to all the time, you can tell when they're off and when they're not acting like themselves, or when they're not responding, and you know that that's not typical.
Yeah.
And I feel like that needs to be believed more by authorities and people, just because you know yourself, you know your friends and family, you know how they react. And it bothers me so much when they're like, well, maybe they're just not responding. And it's like, no, you know that they would normally respond.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I just needed to say that.
I agree. So he was reported missing that same day, and authorities surprisingly launched a massive search pretty quickly. So
that's shocking, honestly.
At least there's that. The Buckeye police, along with outside agencies, covered more than 70 square miles. They reportedly used UTVs, cadaver dogs, and air support, including drone and helicopters. Almost a month later, on July 19th, a rancher found Daniel's Jeep on his property, and it was approximately 4 miles southwest of his job site where Daniel was last seen. So 4 miles, that's like not anything.
No, that's real close.
Yeah. And during the search, so during the 70 square mile search, the Jeep was not seen.
I read that it was like rough terrain, and that's why it wasn't seen, because like they did like helicopters and stuff. So
yeah, they did helicopters and drones and UTVs, which would,
oh right, you said that,
which would you think would be able to handle that, because that's like essentially like a larger ATV, like with the roof and everything. So I don't know, I just thought that was interesting, so I had to throw that in there. And I think his dad also thought that was kind of interesting that they...
So, like, they're thinking maybe it wasn't there when the search happened.
Yeah. And there's some other stuff I'll get to in a second, but...
Okay. Sorry. I'm getting ahead.
That's okay. It's okay. According to investigators, the Jeep seemed to have rolled over and landed on its side. And I actually saw pictures, and it was on its side when they found it. The airbags were deployed, and initial evidence indicated that Daniel was wearing a seatbelt at the time of the accident. I don't know how they could tell that. But
I wonder if, like, the seatbelt was, like, ripped out or something.
Still out.
Yeah, something like that.
Or maybe still, like, connected. I don't know.
Yeah.
They didn't go into detail about that. But when police first called Daniel's father, David, about the Jeep's discovery, David's initial thought was that he was going to hear something horrible. Police showed him photos and explained the condition of the 2017 Jeep Renegade. Another strange thing, which is a parallel to your case as well, is that Daniel's clothes were also strangely found at the scene, along with his phone and wallet.
So weird.
There was, I can't remember the exact quote, but there was something that I saw on his dad's Instagram that said, like, it was very, like, for police to say this was very unprofessional and distasteful in my opinion, but allegedly they said, it's most likely your son had a brain injury, took off his clothes, and wandered naked into the wilderness, basically.
Really? That's what you're saying?
Yeah, it was something along those lines, but I was just like, that is sick.
Right.
Why would you say that to a father?
Right.
Who's missing his son?
Yeah, no.
So, clothes, phone, wallet, all at the scene. And there was also allegedly paint transfer on the Jeep, which leads his father to think something nefarious happened. Which we don't know when that could have happened, but just based on all the other things, I think they need to take that into consideration as well. David also said, quote, I feel like something's happened here that we just don't know yet. We can't get the full answer. And from there, we don't know where the vehicle was taken. So he doesn't even know where his son's Jeep is right now. Oh my
gosh.
Like, why?
Yeah.
The police have stated that they do not think any foul play occurred, but Daniel's family has since hired a private investigator, Jeff McGrath, and had him look into the disappearance. And McGrath said, quote, immediately when I saw the vehicle, I knew something wasn't right. The damage didn't match the terrain and where it was laying.
Interesting. That's interesting.
He also said that after the airbags came out, somebody turned the ignition over at least 46 more times, which is not normal. No. And there was an additional 11 miles on the car since the airbags deployed. So that tells me the car was driven around after it crashed. I don't know how they can tell that. I'm sure there's a way, especially if there's like chips. Like a lot of newer cars have like chips that read like everything.
Right. Like digital
so that's what
data.
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the police have not come forward to confirm any of this information. But again, I thought it was worth mentioning.
Yeah.
So then just over a week later, a human skull was located in the area south of where Daniel's Jeep had been recovered. But thankfully, authorities determined that it was not Daniel's skull, which is bittersweet. Part of you wants to find your son,
right,
but not under those circumstances. So again, it's like another dead end, unfortunately. Right. Police said no additional human remains have been found despite a lot of online, sleuthing reports claiming otherwise. Other remains have been discovered, but they were determined to be animal bones. David, who is, again, Daniel's father, is hopeful that with the national attention given to Gabby Petito, this will renew interest in finding his son.
Yeah.
Which I think it definitely has. I've seen more about it, in the last few days than I didn't even know about it before Gabby's case.
I've seen a lot of articles about Jelani and Daniel both, like in the same article where people are saying that the Gabby Petito case has brought more attention. So thank goodness that it is, but we need to keep that momentum.
That's like a silver lining from that.
Yeah.
David is also a South Carolina resident, and he shared that he recently put his son's belonging in storage, which is really sad.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
He also told The Independent, which I'm assuming is newspaper.
Yeah, it's like
an online newspaper. Yeah. That he felt authorities could have begun more extensive searches earlier, and that he was upset at how the case had been handled so far, particularly in the wake of other high-profile missing person cases in the West and Southwest this summer, just this summer alone.
Right.
He said, quote, "I started researching Arizona and I realized there are a lot of missing people here. And because of the way the Buckeye Police Department was handling my son's case, I kind of understand why. Time is of the essence, and if you don't move fast enough, you may not ever find this person."
Yeah. Do you know, did they do searches after the vehicle was found? Like, did they do more, like, air and ground searches after they found the vehicle?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't know if they did ground searches, but I don't think that they did any aerial searches.
I feel like that would be, like, the first thing you do.
The prime time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I guess they figured because it was in a 4-mile radius from where he was last seen, and they did a 70 square mile radius search.
Right, but the
even still,
the car, you didn't find it when you did the first search, and even if it is rough terrain and it was hidden, you'd think that you'd still want to do another search for it.
Yeah. Well, his dad's basically saying they dropped the ball, and that's
part of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
David's personal theory is that somehow God is going to bring his son back alive, which I think is great. You got to keep that hope alive, because he could still be alive out there, and he could have had, a brain injury from the accident, and someone could have found him and taken him somewhere, and then maybe just because there wasn't a lot of media coverage, maybe didn't realize, he was missing. So a little bit more about Daniel. He is a black male, approximately 5'8", and weighs around 165 pounds. He has black hair, brown eyes, and he's missing his right forearm. Anyone with any information is asked to call the Buckeye Police Department, their non-emergency number, which I'll link that in the show notes. If you have any information leading, to any tips or anything for them. There's also a website where you can sign a petition started by Daniel's father to bring heat to the Buckeye Police Department to do more to find Daniel. Good. That website is www.pleasehelpfinddaniel.com. I'll also link that in the show notes. David also launched a GoFundMe to help search for his son. According to the fundraisers page, all proceeds will go toward the private investigator's fee, printing missing person flyers. I cannot talk. My tongue's like Desert Search and Rescue Team. So he's trying to foot the bill himself for that.
Jeez. He shouldn't have to be doing that.
Which is, I know, he shouldn't. He absolutely shouldn't. And then hotel expenses, because he is remaining in Arizona until his son is found. And again, anything, resources, anything, I will have linked in the show notes down below. But let's help definitely get this child home to his family.
Yeah, let's help get him home. Okay, so the next missing person is a young girl, and this one, like, as soon as I saw her photos, I was like, oh my god, of course, any child missing, but it's heartbreaking. Okay, so I'm gonna get the information out there, so hopefully we can help find her. Her name is Summer Wells. She is 5 years old, blonde hair and blue eyes. Summer was last seen at her family's home in Rogersville, Tennessee, which is about 65 miles northeast of Knoxville, Tennessee. She was seen on June 25th after she came inside from gardening outside with her grandma. So her mom said that she came inside, and that was the last time she saw her. So they believe she was abducted from the home. Authorities did issue an Amber Alert for her the next day, but that didn't lead anywhere, unfortunately. And like I said, her parents, Donald Wells and Candace Bly, believed that she was abducted. There was also a search effort in the surrounding area, but it didn't come up with anything. They didn't find anything.
So you said that they put out an Amber Alert the following day?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. It wasn't right away. I don't know. I'm assuming they notified authorities immediately when they realized that she was missing. But I don't
Okay.
know.
And then when they didn't find her immediately, they were like, okay, then we'll do it.
Yeah, but I don't know like why they hadn't done it right away.
Okay.
Sadly, the couple has 3 other boys, and they have all been removed from the home by CPS. So they're currently in the custody of the
Oh my
Tennessee
God.
CPS department. So I feel really bad for the parents. I understand that's like CPS's job and what they do, but it just breaks my heart that that's what happened.
Yeah. I mean, if they're doing it for the safety in case like the person comes back, are they indicating like that the parents are unfit because they let their child go missing? Because that's not fair.
Right. They haven't shared why.
Okay.
But I would guess that if it was the first, they would maybe, be with a family member or something like that. Although, maybe there's no family members, but so investigators are looking for a red pickup truck. They think it could possibly be a late 1990 Toyota or 1990s Toyota that may have been in the area on June 15th and 16th near where she was last seen. So they are looking for that truck. That's kind of the only lead that they've announced. So the Hawkins County, where this town resides, the Hawkins County Sheriff, Ronnie Lawson, has said that it's an ongoing investigation. And there have been a lot of people like speculating that the investigation ended, but he said in a video, no, it's still going on. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation agents are involved as well. So it seems like it's more than just the county police. He said in the video, I understand people's curiosity about where we're at in the case as far as the investigation. I know people speculate and I understand that. But they have to understand our number one goal from day one is to find Summer, which I understand, but it just doesn't feel like they're doing a lot, but maybe they're just not sharing it. And he also said, basically everybody is still a suspect, a person of interest. Everybody, like, they don't really have anything, which makes me think that they're even possibly suspecting the parents at this time. There haven't been a lot of details released about like what happened when she actually went missing, and when like authorities were noted or alerted. So
Interesting.
I'm guessing that they're keeping a lot of that close to the chest. And they also said that they've received over like 1,200 tips or something like that. Over 120 agencies from 6 different states spent this last weekend looking for Summer, and it says that they used canines, helicopters, and like searched through a lot of rough terrain. So I mean, it sounds like there's kind of a little bit of a renewed interest with people pushing for current cases, so hopefully this will lead to something being found. But yeah, so Summer is 5 years old. She has blonde hair and blue eyes, is about 3 feet tall and 40 pounds. She was last seen wearing gray pants and a pink shirt, and she could possibly be barefoot, and she went missing from Rogersville, Tennessee on June 25th. If you have any information about her whereabouts, you can contact the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office at 423-272-7121 or the TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND, and I'll put both of those in the show notes as well. So yeah, she's been missing for 2 months now, over 2 months now. No, 3 months. June 15th, yeah, so over 3 months now. And we want to help find her because she, is just a little baby.
She's just a little baby. I know, it's so sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one is interesting to me too because, I feel like a lot of little kids, like really young kids, get a lot of national exposure.
Yeah.
And I have seen maybe 1 or 2 things pop up in the media about her, but I actually initially first heard about her case on the Morbid podcast. And
I forgot that they had mentioned it.
Yeah, they just briefly mentioned it, and they were like, really sad, obviously, because, I mean, if you are not sad, you don't have a heart.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, she's just like this little baby that's just missing, and I hope her family had nothing to do with it, but
it sounds like they're not ruling that out yet.
That's interesting. And the fact they took the other kids, that makes me think things, but
yeah.
And, you know, of course, we will update you guys as we learn more things. I think you said that at the top of the episode, like we'll update on our Instagram and stuff like that. So
yes, we will update, you know, and keep sharing the missing posters and stuff so that you guys can easily share them.
Yeah. So going on to the next case, the next missing person that we're going to be covering is Lauren Cho, which I had no idea about her either until I saw her shared on Crime Junkies, I think it was their Instagram. I can't remember. But Lauren Cho, better known by her friends as Elle, was living on a converted bus in Yucca Valley, which is in California, with her friend and former partner, Cody Orell.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Orell. When she reportedly went missing on June 28th, 2021. Lauren was said to be unhappy with her job as a music teacher in New Jersey and decided to seek a new start. She quit her job and joined her partner Cody on his cross-country trip from New Jersey to Bombay Beach in California just 8 months before she went missing.
This sounds very similar to Gabby's case.
Yeah. I as soon as I saw like she was living on a converted bus, first of all, that's so fucking cool. But second of all, that's what I thought too. Lauren had plans to start a food truck once she arrived in California, which is also super fucking cool. While traveling, the two were invited, so her and her boyfriend at the time were invited to stay with a friend in Yucca Valley. That's how you say that, right? Yucca?
Yeah.
Okay. Which I love Yucca. Sorry. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Where Lauren actually became a private chef for her friend's Airbnb. So she must have been like a slamming ass cook because she was going to start a food truck and then she became a private chef. I cannot talk. God. Cody was the last person to see Lauren. She was near Hoopa Road and Benmar Trail around 3 p.m. on June 28th. His accounts of that day were that he walked into their bus, aka their home, and Lauren walked out upset. There's no reports on what she was upset about, and I assume he doesn't know. Like, he didn't, come forward with that information. So either he just didn't know or he just hasn't come forward with it. I would imagine if he knew something, he would say something, but, you never know.
Yeah.
Later that day, around 5:13, very specific, Cody called the sheriff's office and told them that Lauren had not returned and that he and some of her friends, were concerned and they had been searching for her with no luck. He also told them that when Lauren left, she did not take her phone, food, or water, which if you're in I'm assuming this is like kind of deserty type areas.
Right, like not an area you'd want to not have water.
Water, yeah. So that's alarming. That leads me to believe that she was planning to come back.
Right.
Later on, he told them that previous Sunday, Lauren had plans to go out and meet someone, but she didn't say who. And I couldn't find anything that said whether or not she met that person and actually spent time with them or not. But I think maybe there was like speculation that person could have picked her up.
Right.
But we don't know who that person is, so... Investigators are looking into all leads and working with family friends of Lauren at this time. Future search operations will occur as further leads develop. So I don't know if they actually ever did a search for her.
Okay.
I would imagine they would have done something.
Yeah, especially like where she went missing. Like something she could have like gotten hurt and then just like... not been able to get back up or something.
Get back,
so you'd think they'd do it, but who knows?
But, they're saying they're going to plan future searches as leads develop. Lauren, a.k.a. Elle, is an Asian female. She's 5'3". She has black hair and brown eyes. She was reported to have last been seen wearing a yellow t-shirt and jean shorts, and she was walking on the 8600th block of Benmar Trail in Yucca Valley. And we'll post pictures of all of, these people, what they were last seen wearing, if there's footage of that on our Instagram page. As far as anything else goes, there's really not a lot of information out there about Lauren, sadly. But if you have any tips on, where she might be, or if you saw her, again, nothing is silly or off the table.
Right.
You are encouraged to contact Detective Edward Hernandez or Sergeant Justin Giles in the Specialized Investigations Division. I will put their number in the show notes. Or you can also provide an anonymous tip through We Tip Hotline, and I'll also link that number in the show notes as well. So that's all we know on Lauren's show.
But yeah, it feels like somebody out there will have known something.
Yeah. It sounds like she might have gotten picked up. That's what I'm thinking. And where she is and with who, I have no idea. Obviously, they have not come forward.
Yeah. Wow.
And like you said, I mean, she could have very easily walked off and twisted her ankle and fell down anything. I mean, anything could have happened. So I think they should do an extensive search of that area for sure.
I do too. I'm shocked they haven't.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, like we've said throughout the episode, we will post all of the information on all of these on our Instagram, which is at Inhuman_podcast. So you guys can go see the information, share the information. Please, 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 especially if you're in the area, share it. You just never know who it's going to reach. And we'll have all of the websites and numbers to call if you know anything down in the show notes as well. So we will see you guys on Monday in our next episode. And until then, keep it human. Bye.
Bye.